Hey guys, welcome to the channel. You might possibly be looking at the greatest budget smartphone to date. £399, the Pixel 6a. I bought the olive colour. In fact, the actual proper colour is sage. See that? Pixel 6a Sage, 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigabytes of internal storage. Unfortunately, they're the only options that you get on the website. Got £399, mid-range. Yeah, I said budget, but it is a mid-range smartphone. You can obviously get phones a lot cheaper than this. But I think in terms of value for money, this is up there. Oh, straight away, look at that. Okay, let's lift her out gently. Oh, it's light. So we don't get no power supply. We get a USB Type-C charging lead, an adapter, Type-C to USB-A. And what do we get in here? Oh, we have a SIM tray ejector tool. And some manuals in there, which I'm not really too fussed about. I probably won't even use that at all, just use USB Type-C cables I've got around the house. So look, the sage colour. Now the back, the material is not glass, but tell you what, it sounds, it sort of feels like it. But there is more sort of, there's a Pixel 6a. Sorry, here's the Pixel 6 Pro. The thumb glides more smoother on the Pro. There's a bit more sort of tackiness, I'd say, to this. They're not calling it plastic, they're actually calling it a 3D thermoformed composite back. But they've done a fantastic job to make it look and feel like sort of glass. Tremendous. And it's off. Okay, so let's have a look. So we have an aluminium frame as well. SIM tray there. Microphone at the top. Power and volume rocker. Type-C at the bottom, speakers as well. There's the cameras, the camera array. Obviously not the same camera setup as that you find in the Pixel 6 Pro, unfortunately, but obviously it's a mid-range to budget camera, or mid-range, it's a mid-range to budget smartphone. So you have two cameras there on the back, 12.2 main megapixel and a 12 megapixel ultra wide. And then on the front, we have 8 megapixel on the front. Standard camera system. I believe it's old sensors that are used in, I think, the Pixel 2, I believe. But yeah, trusty and reliable photos I'm expecting from this. It's a Google phone. Let's turn it on. 6.1 inch OLED display as well. Yep, FHD plus display. OLED, only 60 Hz refresh rate. Oh my god, 60 Hz. Bloody hell, give yourself a break. That story is all gone now anyway. I believe some people now got Android 13, which hopefully get installed on this. Bezels look a bit thick for my liking. Get started. I can't see the bezels now, skip all that. Let me just set this up quickly and I'll be back. Okay, so the Pixel 6a is all set up. It is actually, it was downloading and installing an update, but I've been out and tested the cameras as well. The software is typical Google software. Look, pure, clean, no thanks. Clean operating system, not full of crap. Do you know what I mean? It's just beautiful. This is one of the biggest things for me for Pixel. Software and their camera systems as well. The fingerprint sensor, I have tested it a couple of times, and so far, so good. It seems to be quicker, more responsive than the Pixel 6 Pro. Early signs are very, very good. And then it feels obviously a lot lighter than the Pixel 6 Pro, which I suppose is good as well. It's quite a refreshing sort of feeling in the hand, especially when you're used to holding the massive Pixel 6 Pro. The camera bump as well is significantly thinner. Look at the top of them. So there's less camera bump, thinner, slightly narrower, or slightly less tall, if you talk about the height. See that? Yeah, small overall. Same tensor chip, so you should get the same performance. There's 6 gigs of RAM in this as well. I'm going to test the speakers in a moment. In fact, let's test them now. Epidemic sound. And I must say as well, the haptics, really nice. Good haptic feedback. Come on. Music. Go some beats. Let's just play this. Set down a touch for now. Okay, so we have speakers at the top and a speaker at the bottom. Don't think anything comes out of that one. That's the main one. That's the main driver. That's where most of the power's coming out. And then more of the high to mid frequencies there at the top. Let's whack up. Yep, good speakers, guys. I do prefer them on the Pixel 6 Pro, but more low end there, more mid to highs at the top there. But yeah, speakers are very, very good. Now, let's have a look at the camera system, shall we? 12.2 megapixel main, 12 megapixel ultra wide as well. And as soon as I started taking photos, you knew you was taking photos on a Pixel phone. First photo, just a normal selfie, put on a stupid face. That is portrait mode inside, that's portrait mode outside. Quite harsh, to be fair, in terms of the edge. See the edge there, it's quite sort of harsh, but it still looks good. Quality, no question, it's great. Normal selfie, outdoors, contrasty, looks really good. No fault in it. Selfie camera video, 1080p.
Yeah, that sounds bloody cute. Gonna eat ya.
Dad, do I go get more shoes? Where are we going?
There's no stabilisation, is there not?
Daddy,
What's up, mate?
I did Geeky up,
Okay.
chest,
Yep.
yeah, and then look.
Go on then. Do it.
I did the ball on my foot, yeah. Got it over here.
Yeah.
Left foot.
Yeah.
Almost topped in.
Oh,
Right
almost. And then on the rear, we got 4K, up to 4K 60 on the rear.
I can't do my left foot. I wish I did my right foot because that was a really good one.
It's alright. Come on then.
I'm happy you're filming.
Go on along. You'll get it, mate. You'll nail it one day, properly. Oh, nearly, mate.
Where's my... There's a lot of birds. Can't we done it?
You'll go then. Just wide. 12.2 megapixel main sensor and then the 12 megapixel ultra wide. This is a portrait on the rear of the camera. Fantastic edge detection. Quite contrasty actually. Obviously it doesn't look true to what the actual real image is. I do think maybe slightly over darkened it, I think, on the Pixel. And then a shot here. This is actually movement. I got Aria just before she was kicking the ball. So no sort of blur or shutter lag there. So in my opinion, I don't think you're going to get a better camera system on a smartphone at this price for $399. Absolutely no way at all. Superb camera system. In terms of everything else, you get 5 years of pixel updates, which is incredible, really is. In terms of the 60 Hz, while I've been using it, you're not going to really notice it. The average user is not going to notice that at all, really. Lovely OLED panel, 60 Hz at 1080p, protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 3, not the Victus or 5, 3. Obviously keeps the phone at a lower price, more affordable. Nice aluminium solid frame. Build quality is looking very good, and hats off to the way they've done the back. Like I said at the start, you can't really see fingerprints either. Just looks like a glass back and feels it as well. Superb job, really well done to Pixel. And it looks to me as if the fingerprint sensor has come on leaps and bounds from the Pixel 6 Pro that I've been using a lot. So in terms of battery, we have a 4,410 milliamp battery in this device. I'm expecting good battery life, especially because this is a 60 Hz panel as well. It is OLED, but the fact that it's not 120 Hz and only 60 Hz, we should get better battery consumption. It's a smaller device as well, so really looking forward to seeing how battery life compares to the 6 Pro. There's no sort of super fast charging support. This supports 18 watt fast charging, so if you do get the correct block, then that's fine. Still adequate speeds, it's not like 10 watts or something, but yeah, it's not super fast. Okay, so that was my first look at the Pixel 6a. I did expect great things, I did see great things. Fantastic camera performance at £399, clean software. I'm now going to install the new Android 13 operating system once that becomes available, and I'm sure the experience will get even better. So that's the Pixel 6a. Any questions, pop them down below. If you enjoyed this content, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye.